Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds and welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the Nexus 80 Plus power supplies. What's included with each of these power supplies is a power cable, modular leads, and screws for mounting the power supply in the case. The Nexus 80 Plus line of power supplies are available in wattages ranging from 400 to 600. These power supplies have enough power for today's computer systems. I'm looking at the 400 watt, 500 watt, and 600 watt models today. Now, how is this wattage determined? Well, to understand that, you need to know what rails are. Rails are basically well-regulated transformers which convert domestic current into the voltages that your computer system can use. And there are essentially two different rails, the 3.3/5 volt and the 12 volt. All of these power supplies have an approximate maximum peak output on the 3.3/5 volt rail of 155 watts, but the combined output of the 12 volt rail is different. The maximum combined output on the 12 volt rail of the 400 watt model is 380 watts, the 500 watt model is 480 watts, and the 600 watt model is 580 watts. The 3.3/5 volt rail is responsible for the motherboard, memory, PCI cards, and so on, while the 12 volt rail is responsible for the hard drives, optical drives, fans, CPU, video cards, etc. Also, some might be interested to know the peak amps on each rail. All of these power supplies have the same amps on each rail, but the combined power of the 12 volt rails differ. The 3.3 volt rail is 36 amps and the plus 5 volt rail is 30 amps. Now, unlike some power supplies that only have 1 or 2 plus 12 volt rails, these power supplies have 4 and they are all 18 amps each. There are a couple of important things to remember when selecting a power supply. First is wattage. Determine how much wattage you are going to require by the amount of hardware you will be installing. Generally speaking, a medium to high-end gaming rig would require a 500 to 700 watt power supply. If, however, you're going hardcore and have a multiple video card setup with lots of other hardware, select a power supply that's above 700 watts. Second, it should be at or above 80% efficient at typical load. The efficiency of these power supplies is guaranteed 80% or better at all loads. Third, it should meet the latest ATX and other current standards, environmental directives, overvoltage, undervoltage, and other protections. These power supplies meet all current standards. Fourth, I'd recommend getting a power supply that has APFC. APFC, or active power factor correction, assists the power supply in being more efficient and therefore stable under load. APFC basically reduces total harmonics, corrects input voltage, and it allows for full input voltage range. Thankfully, these power supplies have APFC. Finally, get a power supply that has enough leads for your setup. Let's have a closer look at these power supplies. They are all identical on the outside with a steel housing which is painted black. There's one quiet 120 millimeter fan, and the fan is recessed, which ensures it will fit in any ATX case. There's also lots of ventilation provided by the honeycomb grill to ensure the inside of the power supply remains cool. Here's the power cable connection and the power switch. These power supplies have lots of leads. Most of these leads are modular, but a few are hardwired into the power supply and can't be removed. The modular leads can be easily attached or removed, which is very convenient because you only need to use the leads necessary for your particular setup. Also, all the leads are sleeved, and this reduces the cable mess inside the case and will improve airflow. All of these power supplies give real silent performance, ranging from 18.4 to 19.6 decibels in idle mode. You can see here I turn the power supply on, but there isn't enough load to continue to spin the fan. This diagram illustrates the noise level test of each power supply in an ISO anechoic chamber. It shows that as wattage increases, the fan spins faster to provide adequate cooling, and thus the noise level increases, but still remains extremely quiet even at max load. These power supplies are perfect for a home theater PC setup or any environment where you need to have a quiet PC. They are not intended for an ultra hardcore gaming rig though, because they would not provide enough power. But overall, these power supplies are great. Again, my name is Rodney Reynolds. This has been another video review. Be sure to check back very soon. I will have a brand new one for you then. Also pop into my website at www.3dgameitman.com, and while you're there, you can go into the forums and register, and remember, registration is completely free. Also keep in mind, you can find out a lot more on these products in the forum. And as a final note, if you love watching my video reviews, please remember to help support 3dgameitman.com. If you wish to support, please visit support3gm.com. Until the next time, take care. Differ. The 3.3, oh my gosh. Speaking a medium to high-end grinding because you only need to use the leads necessary for your particular setup. And you're overclocking because they do not provide enough juice for that. Now don't get me wrong, overall, these power supplies are great. Again, my name is Rodney Reynolds. That has been another video review.